Before the news starts, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Donald Trump just got this very bad news. Special counsel Robert Mueller searched far and wide for a smoking gun that would lead to Donald Trump's impeachment. Mueller, so far, has failed to turn up the evidence or witness testimony to convict the president. But that just changed when Trump got this very bad news. A White House insider cooperates with Mueller. White House counsel Don McGahn cooperated extensively with special counsel Robert Mueller. Since Trump's original legal team believed full cooperation would speed up the end of Mueller's probe, no limits were set on Mueller's ability to interview McGahn. In an exclusive investigation, The New York Times reported. In at least 3 voluntary interviews with investigators that totaled 30 hours over the past 9 months, Mr. McGahn described the president's fury toward the Russia investigation and the ways in which he urged Mr. McGahn to respond to it. He provided the investigators examining whether Mr. Trump obstructed justice a clear view of the president's most intimate moments with his lawyer. Among them were Mr. Trump's comments and actions during the firing of the FBI director, James B. Comey, and Mr. Trump's obsession with putting a loyalist in charge of the inquiry, including his repeated urging of Attorney General Jeff Sessions to claim oversight of it. Mr. McGahn was also centrally involved in Mr. Trump's attempts to fire the special counsel, Robert S. Mueller III, which investigators might not have discovered without him. While McGahn does not own attorney-client privilege with Trump, Trump's lawyers could have negotiated the scope of the interview. Anti-Trump journalists pounced on the development and compared it to John Dean telling investigators how Richard Nixon orchestrated the Watergate cover-up. The New York Times' Peter Baker tweeted, "Shades of 1974? The week started with an enemies list, then came secret White House tapes, and it finishes with a White House counsel spilling to a special prosecutor." Baker's tweet solidified the Times as the opposition party media in the minds of millions of the presidents. The Times reporter had also lied. McGahn's testimony. The Times reporting revealed that McGahn testified to Mueller that he never saw the president exceed his legal authority. Axios reported an exclusive interview with a Trump World source where the source said McGahn testified to the fact that McGahn and others warned Trump that firing James Comey would make the Russia investigation worse. In the 2 meetings to discuss firing Comey, the president was instructed, by aides, that this is not going to end the investigation, it's only going to make it worse, the heat will be turned up. And, Trump said, "I understand that, but I have no confidence in him. So I'm going to fire him." That's a good fact, the source continued, as compared to him saying, "I'll fire so we'll end the investigation." It was the opposite. Trump shut down the New York Times lie that McGahn ratted him out to Mueller in a series of tweets. The president wrote. The failing at New York Times wrote a fake piece today implying that because White House counsel Don McGahn was giving hours of testimony to the special counsel, he must be a John Dean type rep. But I allowed him and all others to testify, I didn't have to. I have nothing to hide. And have demanded transparency so that this rigged and disgusting witch hunt can come to a close. So many lives have been ruined over nothing, McCarthyism at its worst. Yet Mueller and his gang of Dems refuse to look at the real crimes on the other side. Media is even worse. We will keep you up to date on any new developments in Robert Mueller's rigged witch hunt against the president. Facebook has greatly reduced the distribution of our stories in our readers' news feeds and is instead promoting mainstream media sources. When you share to your friends, however, you greatly help distribute our content. Please take a moment and consider sharing this article with your friends and family. Thank you. Thank you for watching our video. Please support us by sharing this video, so your friends can see it. Give us a thumbs up to this video and leave us a comment below with your opinion on this subject. Thank you.